Hello, Mr. Cunningham. Alan, it's a big pot out there, buddy. I'm all in. Don't be scared.
I call.
Only a donkey would make that call.
We play at FullTiltPoker.com.
Diamonds and I ain't holding back. I'm all in. Yeah, I'm going to kick it. Pocket rockets and take it. If you got what it takes, you can play high stakes. I'm all in. These ladies ain't ladies unless they your ladies. Put your hand on a roster. That's what it takes. And if you got what it takes, then you can play high stakes.
Welcome to High Stakes Poker. I'm AJ Benza. Every night, somewhere out there, maybe in a poker room in Las Vegas or a private house in London or New York, there's a high-stakes poker game being played. It's not easy to find out where it is because you got to be invited. And that means you're either one of the richest players in the world or one of the best. You're going to get an exclusive look into this world tonight, where pros and amateurs put up at least $100,000 of their own money to play, and some put up a cool $1 million. And that kind of action makes for a lot of drama. And that's high-stakes poker. I'm joined by my co-host and poker expert, Gabe Kaplan. Now, Gabe, we're going to see some of the best, toughest poker players in the world out there tonight, aren't we?
That's right, AJ. A lot of these players we've already seen in the tournaments, but very few of the tournament players play in this level of cash game.
Why is that?
Well, in a tournament, there's a limit to what you can lose. You can only lose your buy-in.
Right.
Here, if you lose $50,000 in a pot, that's $50,000 that comes right out of your pocket.
Okay.
Now, you might think emotions are going to run high because of that, but I don't think so. These players are consummate gamblers. They don't wear their emotions on their sleeves. I think we're going to hear a lot of stories, a lot of jokes. These people are masters of deception.
Right.
One thing you can be sure of, the money they're playing for is real. It's their own money. It's coming right out of their pocket.
And you've never seen it before on television. This is the first time cameras have been inside this kind of cash game. All right, let's jump right into the action.
And keep in mind, those are real casino chips and real bundles of cash from each player's own pocket. Now, Daniel Alayi's first to act in this hand. This young gun's been making some noise in the poker circuit lately, finishing second at the Legends of Poker tournament in 2005. He started his cash game with $200,000. Now, there are amateurs at this table as well as pros. There's Dr. Amir Nasseri. He's a Las Vegas gynecologist. He got $100,000 at stake tonight.
They're among the growing group of blind poker players.
Now, a lot of players are wearing dark glasses, Gabe. What's up with that?
Well, they think they're necessary, but not Jerry Buzz. He's been playing poker for 50 years, got along without him.
That's exactly why I folded, Danny.
You knew I was raising? I give it away? Did I give it away? I was too anxious?
Yeah. That's exactly why I folded it.
Yeah, I gave it away, huh? You knew I had it?
No.
Negreanu's bluff with a 3-2 suited scares off the remaining players, so he'll win the hand and take down the pot.
If he was stuck, he'd have been in.
If I was stuck, I would have been raising your
That's right.
hand.
No,
I
I believe it.
You know it.
Barry Green's not hurt at all. He's in the game for $100,000. It's a legend himself, Doyle Brunson, one of the all-time poker greats, is playing with $500,000 tonight. That's Jennifer Harmon, considered by many to be the best woman player in the world and a veteran of cash games. She will in for $100,000. They all fold over to Ted Forrest, who limps in with a Queen-6 suited. Ted started the game with $100,000 as well. Alaya folds, and actions to Dr. Amir Nasseri.
What's up? What are you looking at me for? He limped. I didn't do nothing. He's up.
You're my mentor. I want to just look at you.
You're winning. You're not going to play. Come on.
Pick up. You're right. I shouldn't play. But you talked me into it.
Okay. I might have to punish you. Yeah.
I'm stuck, guys. Let's play a little faster.
Wait. I'm raising.
I'm just bringing the bets in.
Let's put another white one in.
That white chip's another $5,000. Negreanu's not afraid to gamble. It's all part of his bigger plan.
You know, coming into this game, I'm coming in like full steam ahead. I'm going to buy in for $1 million, sit right down and, you know, basically try to let people know who's boss right off the bat by being, you know, very aggressive. If anybody's on scared money, I'm going to put the pressure on them, try to keep push, and really sort of throw my weight around.
I'm not that stuck.
man.
I knew you're gonna fold. You know, I knew you're gonna fold.
That is 7 high.
So did I.
You beat. You were drawing dead.
I didn't think we were bluffing each other.
No, we're bluffing.
Somebody's bluffing Barry. Daniel's just taking down 2 pots in a row. There's Sammy Farhar, big cash game player waiting for a seat.
I read it.
Because I've never raised with 2 aces in the first position.
Oh, you liar.
Irish.
The Doctor Nasiri raises to $3,500 with an ace-7 suited.
You don't even smoke, do you?
Jerry Buss quickly calls with pocket tens. Negrano re-raises to $10,000 with pocket kings.
And this time he's got a really legitimate hand. He's bluffed 2 hands, and now he's woke up with a pair of kings, and Doctor's going to call him here with ace-7 suited.
Nasiri calls, as does Buss. So we'll have 3 players seeing the flop.
3 players.
Flop comes 7 of spades, 6 of hearts, 4 of clubs. Nasiri flops top pair with an ace kicker, but Negrano's king still leads.
I think he's got that cigarette lid on the other side. Smoke's going to be coming out of his ears. He's wondering here if he should take a shot at this pot. He's got top pair and top kicker.
Yeah, but just look at how Nasiri is staring down Negrano.
It's getting closer.
Nasiri checks, as does Buss. Over to Negrano now.
Daniel's going to bet here. He's trying to figure out what to bet. It's a kind of a scary flop, 4, 6, 7. One of those players might have a middle pair of sixes, pair of sevens, a flop to set.
Those are $50,000 bricks he's holding, by the way.
There they go, like a hefty bag.
Nice bet, Daniel.
Thank you, sir. Do you like the extra oomph?
I have the best hand.
You do? Then you should probably put your money in. But you're too chicken. You're winner. You'll fold. I know it. That's why I bet it.
How much is that?
That's 100,000, sir. All wrapped and pretty. Take this.
100,000 or 200,000?
Just one.
It's 50 each. You know, all that money is like this, and a couple more.
$100,000 on a pair of sevens with an ace kicker. Will he do it? Welcome back. We're at the famous Golden Nugget Casino for more high-stakes poker. Daniel Negrano was just bet $100,000 with kings. Amir Nasiri and Jerry Buss each have a pair, but will they call?
All right, I'll let you have it.
You must have like 2 jacks, right?
I gotta see this one.
2 jacks? Oh, yeah, you had me crushed. I could never beat that. There's a king right here. King right here. You can guess the other one. Or wait till you watch it on GSM, High Stakes Poker.
5 of hearts, obviously.
High Stakes Poker on GSM, and that's how you'll find out.
Jerry Buss, by playing those 10s conservatively, saved a lot of money in that hand.
Well, look at this. Negrano's luck continues, this time with jacks.
That's what we always do.
2,200 is the
You're
raise.
like,
Really?
Daniel makes it to 2,200 to go.
if he loses
Action to Barry Greenstein.
I'm right in
The
there.
9-6 offsuit. And Greenstein re-raises 10,000. Interesting bet, Gabe.
Well, Mr. Greenstein doesn't like getting pushed around. He's saying to Daniel, hey, I'm a big-time poker player, too. I'm going to raise you. You can't push me around. The only problem is he's picked the wrong time.
Now, Negrano needs to put in another $7,800 to call.
Put the whole package in.
Well, the whole package is a little bit more than $7,800. He's just raised and made it $1 million.
Wow, the pot's over $1 million. That's $1 million of his own money. And Barry Greenstein is forced to fold.
Timing is everything in poker.
Bit of million.
Well, you got it, kid. You got it, you got
And
it.
Barry is really frustrated.
Daniel's an exuberant player, a lot of energy. He's proven himself to be one of the top tournament players in the world. He had a year in 2004 that everyone was jealous of. He was Player of the Year at the World Series and for the Card Player magazine. He's a tricky player also. Daniel's going to be hard to figure sometimes. He mixes his play up a lot, and I'm sure he's going to be one of the tough guys to figure out at the table.
7 each.
7 each?
Yeah.
Well, he has played tough so far, but he also has had hands at the right time. That helps.
Action's on Greenstein with Jack-10 suited. He raises $2,000.
Raised to 2,000.
Table falls to Negrano, who defends his big blind call with an ace-9 offsuit. So it's Daniel and Barry heading to the flop again.
Thank you.
Here's the flop: 6 of hearts, 8 of hearts, 4 of diamonds. Missing both players. Negrano's ace still leads.
3.
Greenstein bets $3 with just a jack high.
Now, Daniel doesn't think that flop has helped Barry. He's also got a little streak going. He just doesn't want to give the hand up.
Negrano calls with nothing. Now the pot's at $11,000 as we head to the turn. Turn cards is 7 of clubs. Negrano still leads and has an open-ended straight draw, and Greenstein a gut shot straight draw. Daniel bets $10,000.
Yes, he has that open-end straight draw, and he's taking the play away. He's going to try and win this hand, too, and he's, again, perfect timing.
Greenstein folds the hand, taking another one on the chin from Negrano, who rakes in $21,000. This is personal between these two guys, Gabe.
Nothing personal, strictly business. Right now, Daniel's in business, and Barry's store is closed. Hoping to reopen soon.
And Daniel's not only cashing into the table, but away from it as well.
Well, today I'm down here to promote my video game Stack with Daniel Negrano. And basically just going to play a little poker with some of the qualifiers who had a chance to qualify to play against me. And we're going to play a little tournament using the game. And so I'm excited.
Any words of advice you can tell your opponents?
Well, first of all, they're in big trouble. So I really got no advice other than don't cry when you lose. Well, what are you going to do? All right. Ooh, there's the ace. Is that you? Did you rob it? What'd you have? You have anything good? Sign yours. Shut up. Ace! Good job, man. Got unlucky. You had the best hand going in. Oh, well. We had 12-year-old kid there, Kyle, who won his heat to play against me in the Final Four, and he played really, really well. As you can see, like a lot of the people just love to play poker, and it's just a great game to enjoy. And I just had some fun with a lot of people, signed some autographs, hung out a little bit. It was a fun day.
It's a fun day when you draw out on the 12-year-olds, and here he's holding over the big guys.
If you knew we both got diamonds, you would have never been in the pot.
No.
Oh. Brunson just limps in with big slick, ace-king offsuit.
He's probably hoping somebody raises.
That's true.
I am going to raise.
That's true.
Danny, let's put pressure back to you.
Is this payback now?
Exactly what it is. I chickened out.
You did chicken out.
And
That's like
I
double
think
trouble.
you're going to chicken out.
Table talk heating up between Amir and Daniel.
I'm going to do you like you do me here.
Daniel falls.
Yeah, but Amir shouldn't have been concentrating on Daniel in this hand because Doyle's got serious intentions.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all in.
Do you like you do me.
What?
He said
He's
all
betting
in.
$500,000.
$1,200 Doyle.
Does he have cards?
Doyle, are you going crazy on it?
Brunson's dropped the hammer on the table. That's a $500,000 bet.
He was waiting for a little space there to get a little quiet at the table before he did this, but everybody's talking, so he just said it. I'm all in, $500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait. That looks like a deuce, 10 deuce right there. That looks like
10 deuce. He was drawing dead.
Nah.
So did you have 10 deuce?
No.
It looks like an ace king.
Ted knows exactly what I've got at all times.
I think that was a little message from Doyle Brunson to Daniel Negrano. There's another player at this table with a lot of cash in front of him, too.
It's a lot of chips for Doyle Brunson to stack with a small price to pay when the stakes are high. And the legend is warming up. It's high stakes poker at the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino. You're watching the first ever televised high stakes cash game. Daniel Negreanu bought in for $1 million of his own money and has been bulldozing the table relentlessly. Daniel's played a lot of hands and he'll continue that trend with an ace-jack offsuit, making it $2,400 to go.
$2,400.
Well, it makes me feel like I got some equity even.
Barry Greenstein was victimized twice by Negreanu. He's got pocket sixes and calls.
Looks like Barry has given up on trying to raise Daniel before the flop. He's going to wait to see what comes out.
There's a stiff 10 of diamonds in the middle.
Well, we'll wait to see who blinks first between Daniel Negreanu and Barry Greenstein as they clash heads once again. Barry's pocket sixes have a slight lead heading to the flop. Flop comes ace of hearts, 3 of spades, 6 of spades. Daniel's paired his ace, but Barry's flopped a set of sixes.
Dream flop for Barry here, but they both decide to slow play it. Both check.
That's a check to the turn, which is a jack of spades.
Now, Daniel's made aces and jacks, but he checks again. Barry cannot check anymore because that board is getting dangerous.
Greenstein bet $3,000.
Now, Daniel's going to raise here. He's got aces and jacks.
That's an $11,000 raise.
Big question is, what is Barry going to do? There's a possible flush out there. A flush and 3 aces and 3 jacks are the only hands that can beat Barry, but Barry's kind of snake bit here. Daniel has tossed him around quite a bit.
Greenstein calls. Now the pot swells to $28,500 as we head to the river.
Surprised me that Barry just called.
Oh, and it's a 5 of spades, giving Negreanu the nut flush.
As I said, Barry was right just to call here because Daniel has made the absolute best hand.
Yeah. Daniel bet $6,000.
He wants to get paid off.
Yeah.
Barry probably has no choice but to call.
Yeah, and Barry will look him up. So Negreanu wins the hand, taking down another pot at the expense of Barry Greenstein.
And Barry sees Daniel's hand, realizes that he was like a 15-1 favorite on the flop. Just can't do anything today with Daniel, but he handles it with class. No crying, no moaning. Takes the beat like a gentleman.
You're truly Zach.
Action continues as Jerry Buss remains patient.
It's your big blind, so in that case, since it's your big blind, I'm going to raise your big blind. I'm going to make it 1,200. I think out loud. I always do, basically, and I'm just thinking about the possible hands that my opponent can have, what I put him on. But then, I have to factor in the price I'm getting laid. Like, there's a lot of money in the pot. Mix it up.
Where I come from, the price of getting laid is much less than the amounts Daniel's throwing into those pots.
Price he's getting laid, AJ, a little different.
I knew that. Back to the action. So Negreanu, Harmon, and Elia are in.
Just because of that.
No.
I'm willing to put it all in one hand.
3 players.
Yeah, as long as you have aces.
It's a 3-player flop. We got a queen of clubs, 7 of hearts, king of hearts.
Check.
And Negreanu's luck continues as he pairs his king. Elia pairs his 7. The table checks around to the turn card, which is a 6 of clubs. Elia makes 2 pair, but Negreanu's on a flush draw. Elia leads with $3,500. Actions Negreanu.
Raise 12,000.
12,000 straight.
Daniel Negreanu raises to 12,000 now. Over to Harmon, who needs a 10 for a straight.
Yeah. She's like counting. She's going.
Harmon falls, and it's another $6,500 for the young pro Elia to call.
Now, he's going to call for sure. He's got 2 pair. He's just thinking about what to do here. Tough decision. Any 2 pair beats him, but he must feel he probably has the best hand right now.
Yeah, but he just calls that Negreanu's million must be intimidating. So we'll head to the river. And the river card's another queen of spades.
That's a terrible card for both of them, particularly Daniel Elahi. He checks. All he has now are queens and 7s with a king kicker. But Daniel Negreanu didn't like that queen either.
Hey, I could have this. I checked.
Check.
Well, it's a check, and thanks to the queen on the river, Daniel Negreanu will take it down another pot.
Everything is working for Daniel today. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets his refund check from the IRS today also. Having $1 million on the table plus a little bit of luck, that's a scary combination.
And it's got to be scary for the folks around the table to watch Negreanu stack it bigger and bigger. Can anyone stop this guy?
Vegas, Nevada, and the Golden Nugget. AJ Benza here with Gabe Kaplan. We're back at High Stakes Poker. The action so far has been fantastic. And Gabe, I tell you, Daniel Negreanu is just dominating the table.
When he bluffs, everybody goes out. When they have a good hand before the flop, he's got a better hand. When he's got the worst hand on the turn, he winds up drawn out on the river.
Right.
Everything's working for him.
Yeah.
He is in the zone.
Well, let's see if it lasts as we head back out.
Because when I get knocked out of a tournament, I'm really calm and
Yeah,
cool,
because
and I
she
just
said,
walk
no,
away.
you get upset when you get knocked out.
Yeah.
I'm real calm and cool.
Yeah, I get upset by just not saying
Is that a
anything.
raise?
She said, look at Jennifer. She just walked calmly out of the room. She almost
She only kicked over 3 garbage cans.
killed 2 guys who were 6'2".
Daniel and Barry know how Jennifer really acts when she gets knocked out of a tournament.
Right now, Elahi's raised to $2,200 with the king-queen offsuit.
Now that she plays tournaments, she understands me not wanting to talk for a few hours is a lot less than what other people do, a lot less than she does.
Negreanu and Brunson both called. Now, Jennifer Harmon with pocket deuces from the big blind looks both directions and calls. So we have a party of 4 heading to the flop. Flop is a king of clubs, queen of spades, 6 of spades. Elahi flops top 2 pair, and Negreanu pairs his queen.
You see the graphic, he's a 20-to-1 favorite.
Well, you're right.
But we've seen Daniel buck those odds before. Elahi's going to bet here.
He's not going to wait. He bet $6,700. The pressure's now on Negreanu.
6,700.
When I'm thinking about a situation or thinking about a decision, I'm just thinking about the possible hands that my opponent could have, what I put him on. But it's so hard to do because, again, if they show you that bluff, you're like, oh, man, you'll never sleep. And if they don't show you, you never sleep either.
It's a real stretch for Daniel to make this call with his hand. Even though he has been running hot, I can't see him making this call.
I think it's a bad fold right there. But
Brunson and Harmon follow his lead and fold, giving Elahi the hand and a pot of more than $16,000.
Daniel covered himself for TV in case it was a bluff, but it wasn't Daniel. You made the right decision, and you can sleep well tonight.
With the way things are going, he probably would have drawn out.
This is the cherry.
I don't think he wanted to push his luck with that hand, AJ.
Yeah. A little bit different.
Here we go with Jerry Buss. He folds King 10 under the gun. I think that's the right play. We haven't heard too much from Doyle. He's got a lot of nicknames, you know, Texas Dolly. I like the Big Papa.
Well, Big Papa raises the price to play to $2,500.
Oh, raise it.
Looking for you,
I'm
kid.
out.
Actions to Elahi with an 8-6 suited. He'll call from the small blind. Nasiri bows out from the big blind.
And Daniel Elahi is hoping to see some hearts, but that'll be the worst thing for him if that would happen.
Well, let's see what we got. Flop has the 4 of clubs, 4 of hearts, 9 of clubs. So Brunson flops top pair.
Doyle's going to slow play his pair of 9s here.
And it's an 8 of clubs.
Well, that gives Elahi 2 pair also. He might want to bet here. He might think that this is the best hand right now.
Yeah, and he does. Elahi bets $4,500.
4,500.
Doyle quickly calls. He's a little scared of those clubs out there. Wants to make sure another one doesn't come off.
Let's go to the river. 7 of spades on the river.
Check.
Elahi checks to Brunson. And Brunson makes an aggressive play by betting $12,000.
The old pro now knows he has the best hand, and he's trying to get paid off by Daniel Elahi. Now, what Daniel Elahi is thinking about is it possible Doyle's bluffing? Could he have raised it up initially with an ace-king, with an ace of clubs or king of clubs? And is he bluffing now? Is Daniel Elahi's pair of 8s good?
Well, you see Elahi mulling it over, and Brunson strikes that familiar pose, the one that's won him millions of dollars.
Elahi folds. What happened there was the Big Papa made a great bet, and the young pro made a great laydown. Good play all the way around.
I play like a little girl.
Up to now, the 2 players that have bought in with the most money are controlling the table.
Sometimes big money can run scared, but not tonight, AJ.
Actually, it's easier to sleep.
Harmon with the queen, 10 off suit. She limps in with $600.
No girls in. Remember that hand.
Now, Daniel Elahi's got a 4 deuce of diamonds. He's going to be a little tricky here and raise to 3,000.
Over to Dr. Nasseri. The whole card cam shows pocket aces.
Now, that's the cure for tricky plays. Now, he's thinking about what to do. Now, I'll tell you something, AJ, from his demeanor. Now, I know he has aces, and it's easy for me to talk, but all the other players are picking up on this. He looks like he has a big hand.
Well, here he goes. He looks to re-raise, and he makes it $10,000 to go.
Re-raise, made it 10,000.
And Jerry Buss and Jennifer Harmon both decide to save their money. Actions to Elahi, who needs to put in another $7,000 to call here.
Now, what Daniel Elahi is thinking about is Dr. Nasseri's an amateur. Can he outplay him after the flop? Is he good enough to figure out what the doctor has and then take this pot away?
Well, the young pro calls. The pot's now over $21,000 as we head to the flop. The flop comes Queen of Spades, 5 of Diamonds, and King of Hearts.
Elahi has completely missed the flop. And surprisingly, the doctor checks.
Yeah.
Let's see if Elahi's going to try and take it away right here. It won't work, but he checks.
And we'll go to the turn for a 3 of Hearts, which gives Elahi an open-end straight draw.
Doc checks again, really slow playing his aces.
Well, he's willing to take the risk. Now it's up to Elahi. He bets $12,000 back at Nasseri.
Well, he has something legitimate. He has that open-end straight draw, so he's going to do what he started out to do in the first place, pick up the hand.
Nice.
We're not playing countries in the game. No countries. So no hope for no hope for
No hope. 41.
Well, the series now come out of the bushes. It's going to cost Elahi another $40,000 if he wants to see the river card.
The doctor's taking a big chance with this hand. It worked. He does have the best hand, and he's going to probably win it here. But if Daniel Elahi had kings and queens or a set of 3s, a set of 5s, Daniel Elahi would win a lot of money from the doctor.
Well, this pot is ballooned to $85,400, and this isn't fake money, folks. It's their own money.
Now, the way Daniel Elahi pushed those chips away, I think he's contemplating doing something here. He might go all in, raise, make it a $200,000 bet.
Yeah.
Now, if he did that with any other player at the table, and any other player had Dr. Nasseri's hand, aces, they would throw it away. Aces cannot fade that board. But Dr. Nasseri, being an amateur, would probably call because amateurs tend to overplay aces.
Right.
Is he going to do it?
No. Elahi throws away the hand, and Dr. Amir Nasseri takes down a pot worth over $85,000.
Nice lead.
I have to wait to see that one.
No. Good lead.
Just one?
The doctor shows a little compassion at the high-stakes poker table. It's high-stakes poker with real cash from the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas.
Those people in the background, AJ, are called sweaters. They're here with one of the players, could be friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, and very interested in how each player does.
Yes, I'm sweating the middle barmaid. The things you're hitting up at the table, Gabe. Actions to Ted Forrest with the Queen 5 suited. He'll call.
What's the news up?
Action falls to Nasseri with a King Queen suited.
That is your chance.
What are you doing there?
I sat too long and you didn't come out.
Yeah. You're coming with the speech. How much is that, sir?
$3,500.
Not enough.
Just the regular one.
You're already a dimple and $1 million stack.
The ground you fall is not wanting to lose any of those dimples. Actions to Forrest.
He makes a kind of loose call here with the Queen 5 of spades.
Here's the flop. We got a 9 of diamonds, 3 of diamonds, 7 of hearts. And the series king still leads.
Check.
Let's check to the turn. 4 gives Forrest a gut shot straight draw.
But the thing is, since I don't drink.
And the series will fire in $6,000 in the pot with nothing. A good bet.
That's a good bet. He's going to take this pot. Showed some speed there.
Danny, where were you this hand?
Yeah. Would you have aces?
No. No.
What was the flop
You kidding
anyway? I had a pair. I would have flopped me a pair.
Aces?
I would have had me a pair.
Aces? Where you come from? I've never seen aces in my life.
Except for the last hand.
As play continues, Gabe, Dr. Amir Nassiri seems to be on a pretty good winning streak.
Well, it's poker, AJ. Anybody can win in poker. Plus, he does have some playing skills, and plus, he's talking to the Iranian Secret Service on his earphones.
Action's on Dr. Nassiri now with pocket 5s. And he's going to raise you $2,500. Well, his nemesis, Daniel Negreanu, has a Jack 10 suited and calls.
Danny, there we go.
Now we finally locked
I thought you would lighten up.
You got me
Gotta
too.
get Shanker.
Hey, Forrest joins the party with pocket deuces. So it'll be 3 players to the flop. Flop comes 4 of hearts, deuce of clubs, 5 of diamonds. Nassiri and Forrest both flop sets.
That's all I mean.
This is the situation you dread as a Hold'em player.
Oh, look at this. Negreanu with just jack high throws $6,000 into the pot. He's lit the fuse, and there's going to be fireworks. Welcome back. We're back in Las Vegas at the Golden Nugget for the ultimate in high-stakes poker action. It's a 3-way showdown. Daniel Negreanu's forcing the action with a $6,000 bet on just jack high. Ted Forrest and Amir Nassiri both flop sets. And Forrest calls.
Race.
Oh.
Danny. You play that junk, you got to be rewarded for it.
You raise?
Yeah.
He makes it 6,000 more.
That's not my usual raise.
Nassiri matches the $6,000. But he doesn't seem sure what he's going to raise here, Gabe.
This is kind of unusual.
You were serious about the raise, right?
Yeah. Share it with the rest of us.
Yeah.
$14,000 more.
14,000 more.
No thanks.
$14,000 raise chases Negreanu from the hand. Now actions to Ted Forrest.
How fast did you leave?
I was bluffing.
Ted Forrest loves his hand. Let's see what he's going to do.
I'm going to raise it.
He's not slow playing anymore.
And if they left, they finally had 5.
He's taking a long time to decide his raise also.
Ted Forrest raises another $16,000 into the pot. It's now over $70,000.
We have a situation here, AJ, where both players are sure they have the best hand.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a lot of acting going on. Now, Ted Forrest might be wondering right now, he said, what does this guy have? Now, if Dr. Nassiri knew Ted had as strong a hand as he does, he'd put all his chips in and he could save his performance.
Right.
Look how he took the chip off, like he's almost going to throw his hand away.
I'm all in.
And Dr. Amir Nasseri moves all in.
I'm going to have to call you.
Yeah, Ted Forrest says you're going to save the performance, so I'm going to have to call you.
No, you're not. They are.
You got a set? I'm dead. I got a set, too.
Wow.
Need a miracle.
Listen to him.
The turn card, an ace.
Oh, come on, guys.
River cards a 9. And Nasseri wins the hand, taking down over $200,000.
That buys you a first-class ticket, by the way, to Dubai.
Yeah, you've got me covered.
Okay. Used to be everybody.
Now look at Ted Forrest's body language. He's just lost over $100,000, and look how calmly he's taken it. In fact, he just brought out two $25,000 chips. He's going to rebuy in for $50,000.
Nasseri wins again, and the doctor has a poker tip that might help your game.
When you go to a poker game, you always want to be ready to beat the other guy at the game. You don't want to give them an advantage. You want to look them in the eye and tell them, I'm just like you, but better than you. You don't want to dress up like a tourist. You don't want to dress up like a successful business person who is ready to lose. You want to dress up like a mean-looking poker player that you should dress up like. You want to be comfortable because you might play for hours and hours and hours. So you don't want to be in a suit and a tie. And you want to look sharp, but you want to be comfortable with what you're doing. This is what I do when I want to get ready for a poker game. This is my outfit when I go to work as a doctor. And immediately in this room, I can transform myself into a poker player. I can have one of these hats on, put my sunglasses, accessorize myself with different jewelry and rosary beads, put my jeans on, my jacket, and there we go, off to the poker games. Best on the same
And you know, I hear 4 out of 5 gynecologists recommend dressing up for a big game helps you win.
Well, dressing up helps. Accessorizing yourself properly helps. It also helps the flop set over set.
Actions to Barry Greenstein, who's caught himself a pretty good starting hand. Pocket aces.
And now look how casual Barry is about it compared to how Amir was when he had the aces.
2000? I would have usually called you, Barry, but my wife told me not to bother you at all.
Too bad for Barry. Everybody casually threw their hand away.
There's more high-stakes poker coming up. Vegas. I'm A.J. Benz alongside co-host and poker aficionado Gabe Kaplan for the first time ever televised high-stakes cash game. We've got world-class players battling it out using their own money. Actions on Daniel Negreanu with pocket deuces.
Let's put $2,400 in the center.
Daniel Negreanu, who's been a little quiet lately, is going to try and jumpstart things again. He's put in $2,400 with his deuces.
Mr. Live Straddle.
Action to Ted Forrest. He calls.
There you go.
Wouldn't miss it for the
Call
world.
one guy who listens. Jerry's coming with us, though. No?
Well, that's because I just said they wanted me to get on calls.
Me in the best hand.
Probably so.
Well, everyone else is out. Ace-Jack suited will battle pocket deuces to the flop. King of clubs, 3 of hearts, king of diamonds. The Negreanu's deuces still lead.
Check.
They check to the turn. A jack.
You don't have king jack 3 anymore.
Ted Forrest checked his jacks. That's surprising.
River's a 10.
Ted Forrest still has way the best hand. Got a bet here.
$4,500.
Can't beat anything. I think I had you, maybe.
Did you have a pair?
I had me a pair going into the river.
And I guess I had you.
You had me on the turn.
Very sportsmanlike. Ted Forrest shows Daniel what he had.
Yeah. I had 2 deuces. You had me.
And Daniel tells the truth about what he had.
So Ted Forrest takes down $11,000. He wins back a little bit of the money he lost earlier. And Daniel Negreanu's earlier card play continues to cool down. As play moves on, Ted Forrest finds a king-queen offsuit and he calls.
What is going on?
Number 1 sunglass guy is out. Number 2 sunglass guy doesn't have his sunglasses.
Negrano's not afraid to gamble as he calls with 9-5 suited.
I want to warn y'all, I've got a name hand.
The hand he has is called the computer hand, Queen 7. Jennifer Harmon has a big blind. She's in.
Well, it's 4 to the flop. Deuce of clubs, 5 of clubs, 10 of diamonds. Negrano and Harmon both flop pairs here. The table checks around to Negrano, who's in the lead, and bets $1,200.
Doyle logs off.
Harmon calls with deuces. And Forrest decides to gamble here with a king high.
Being stuck over $100,000 will make you gamble.
The turn cards a jack of clubs, giving Forrest a straight and flush draws. Harmon checks. Forrest checks. And Negrano fires again, $3,000. Harmon's seen enough. Forrest calls. The river cards a king of hearts, and Forrest takes the lead with a pair of kings and checks.
Ah! I had it till the river.
Yeah, figured he had me beat till the river.
I made a good bet on the turn, but then thought you might have a hand like that. Should have bet one more. Bet it all.
Bet it all, I can't call.
Actually, Daniel played the hand great. He bet twice when he had the best hand. When Ted Forrest caught the king on the river, he just checked it down.
And Forrest wins another hand.
Thank you, Amir.
Gabe, that was just a taste of our high-stakes poker. Unlike a tournament, cash games are a marathon. They can go until you drop or someone breaks you.
And the way Daniel Negrano is playing, that could very well happen. How about the amateur? Amir Nasiri taking almost $100,000 from the consummate pro, Ted Forrest.
That was good stuff. And it's just another night at the table on high-stakes poker.
Today's big winner was amateur Amir Nasiri, the Las Vegas gynecologist, who takes away over $130,000, more than $80,000 of it from the pocket of Ted Forrest. Ted ends up losing his original buy-in of $100,000, but as long as you have deep pockets, you're never out in this cash game. And so Forrest digs in for $50,000 more. And he scored, 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 and he scored.
Hello, beautiful. Oh, yeah.
No one to play with? So play online at partypoker.com. It's fun, it's easy, it's the world's largest poker room.
You folded?